ಸಿಎಂ ಸಿದ್ದರಾಮಯ್ಯ ಅರ್ಜಿ ವಿಚಾರಣೆ ಮತ್ತೆ ಆರಂಭಗೊಂಡಿದೆ. ಸಿಎಂ ಸಿದ್ದರಾಮಯ್ಯ ಪ್ರಾಸಿಕ್ಯೂಷನ್ ವಿಚಾರಣೆ ಪುನರಾರಂಭ ಆಗಿದೆ. ಸಿಎಂ ಪರ ವಕೀಲ ಅಭಿಷೇಕ್ ಮನು ಸಿಂಘ್ವಿ ವಾದ ಮಾಡ್ತಿದ್ದಾರೆ. 1 ಗಂಟೆಯ ಲಂಚ್ ಬ್ರೇಕ್ನ ನಂತರ ಈಗ ಅರ್ಜಿ ವಿಚಾರಣೆ ಮತ್ತೆ ಆರಂಭಗೊಂಡಿದೆ. ಹನ್ನೆರಡು ಗಂಟೆಯಿಂದ 1:30ವರೆಗೂ ಸುದೀರ್ಘವಾಗಿ ವಾದ ಮಂಡಿಸಿದ್ರು ಅಭಿಷೇಕ್ ಮನು ಸಿಂಘ್ವಿ. ಈಗ ಮತ್ತೆ ವಿಚಾರಣೆ ಪುನರಾರಂಭ ಆಗಿದೆ.
Normally act in a bona fide manner, fairly, honestly. All this is forgotten. It is straight push button, automatic. That's the error. First part. I'm coming to the second part. However, on those rare occasions where on facts the bias becomes apparent. Now mark this sentence for us kindly. This is the
apparent bias.
Apparent bias. And or the decision is not one of the subconscious or institutional bias. You must be presumptively biased because you are a cabinet. But apparent bias is some demonstration. Some demonstration must be there. And and the decision is shown to be irrational and based on non-consideration of relevant factors. The governor would be right on the facts. First test did not apply in MP. Second test not applied by the governor in my case. That's the only test applied by MP. Now let's just see this. Para 9, 18, page 18, para 9.1. Where on the facts there is a case of apparent bias, this did not arise in the facts of that case. Where the decision of the council was shown to be irrational and based on non-consideration of relevant factors. There are the only 2 tests. Only. And one did arise. And that one is applied in my case. The decision says, now mark these words for us. Now this is the context in which I should read M. The decision of the Supreme Court does not lay down any presumptive rule that in all cases where the Chief Minister or member of the Council faces prosecution, there is necessarily an apparent bias. This is a question my Lord rightly put to me. However, as third line, as stated above, unless a situation arises as a result whereof the Council of Ministers disables or disentitles itself, the governor in such matters may not have any role to play. No automatic. Taking a cue from Antule, it is possible to contend that a council may not take a fair and impartial decisions when their chief minister or other members face prosecution. But the doctrine of apparent bias, however, may not be applicable in a case where a collective decision is required to be taken under a statute in relation to former ministers. In a meeting of his council, each member has his own say. There may be different views or opinions, but in a democracy, the opinion of the majority would prevail. Mr. Sorabji has not placed any material to show as to how the council collectively or the members of the council individually were in any manner whatsoever biased. Mr. Sorabji is arguing the opposite point of view. This case, my case, Wallace, this is very important. I'm sorry to repeat.
No, we will take it that the Council of Ministers cabinet had suggested something. You admit that governor is empowered to disagree. It is not that he has to follow. He can disagree.
Provided, no,
he can disagree. Caveat, of course. He can disagree. If he can disagree, then why at all we get into all this saying that Council of Ministers and the role of the governor?
I'll tell you.
In the disagreement, whatever you say, he should record reasons for disagreement. That is all.
Little more complicated. Little more.
Yes.
I understand what my Lord is saying. My Lord is saying the governor can decide.
Yes.
Then we just look at the reasons.
No, is it that whatever the cabinet says, the governor says yes? That is not the scheme of the constitution.
Equally. Whatever the cabinet says, the governor can always say no is also not the scheme.
Yes.
Now, therefore, when your Lordship formulates it thus, the governor can decide. I would like to say, well, that's an incomplete sentence. Let me add the suffix. I would put my proposition as the governor can decide provided the following 2 or 3 conditions are fulfilled. A, it's a cabinet chief minister or cabinet minister case. That is done. That's the fact. Otherwise, it will not arise. 2 crucial conditions. Can decide if A, there is a demonstration and a prima facie finding of apparent bias. B, if there is shown manifest irrationality. And C, either or both of these must be reflected in the order.
Yes.
This is the correct formulation in my view.
It's all right. We'll take it. Now, in MP's case,
Yes.
Why did the apex court say it suffered from irrationality?
Yeah, that's coming.
It said because a report was not taken into consideration by the cabinet when they recommended that this should be the action. So the apex court said that that report should have been taken note of and then permitted prosecution.
And the governor also said so.
Governor had said so.
Governor gave reasons
Yes,
and dealt with it.
yes. No,
I'll check
if
up
you
that,
see paragraph 26 onwards of.
That's
MP.
exactly quoted coming up. It's
Yes,
coming up.
yes.
So therefore, let us just first just stop with the principle. The governor can decide subject to at least 3 conditions. Let us get that clear.
All right.
Then your lordship will apply it to the facts of my case. Condition number 1, apparent bias, which must be recorded by my lords as if I am the governor, I will record. Prima facie apparent bias because something, Mills. The example is best. Two best examples come to my mind. Let's be very specific.
ಇದು ಏಷ್ಯಾನೆಟ್ ನ್ಯೂಸ್ ನೆಟ್ವರ್ಕ್ ಪ್ರಸ್ತುತಿ.
ನೀವು ನೋಡ್ತಿದ್ದೀರಾ ಏಷ್ಯಾನೆಟ್ ಸುವರ್ಣ ನ್ಯೂಸ್.